Hey guys, so this morning we're doing area, which is lesson 13.2. Okay, so if you remember from my 13.1 video, I talked to you a little bit about an activity that I usually do at school with Cheez-Its. Okay, you can do this with Cheez-Its, you can do it today. I have these little like pretzel squares. Okay, you can do it with anything that's square. Okay, anything you have at home, you could cut out paper squares. Okay, or you could just use your textbook like normal. It's just something fun if you have this stuff at home. Don't go to the store, okay? All right, so I just want to show you guys. I'm going to pull this back and I'm going to use my, I'll just lay it right here. I'm going to use my pretzel squares on here. Okay, so when we were talking about 13.1, when I was talking about perimeter, okay, if we were doing this activity together in class, we were counting perimeter, okay? That's the distance around the outside, right? Perimeter is where the fence goes, area is where the grass grows, right? So if we were counting the perimeter edges, okay, it would be 1, 2, 3. Let's say these are inches, right? 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches, 10 inches, 11 inches, 12 inches. Okay, so to walk all the way around my little pretzel yard would be 12 inches. Okay, today we're talking about area. Okay, so we wouldn't be talking about inches anymore. Now they would be square inches. Okay, it's square inches. So it's basically asking you how many square units, these pretzels are my square units, does it take to cover the area? Okay, so count my pretzels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It takes 8 square units, square inches, to cover this shape that I've made. Okay, the area is how many it takes to cover it. Okay, perimeter is where the fence goes, area is where the grass grows. It's all the space on the inside. Okay, so look, let me make another one. Let me make one that looks like this. Okay, it's got to be, it can't be like, I guess it could be like that, but it's not really a rectangle. Everything we do in the textbook is a rectangle or a square. Okay, you could technically figure out the perimeter and the area of that, yes. Okay, but everything we do is going to be a rectangle. Okay, so if we're counting perimeter around the outside, this would be perimeter. Would be 1 inch, 2 inch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, which makes sense, right? Because there's 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, we know 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, on this one, let's count the area. Okay, how many square units does it take to cover it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, in this exact shape, the perimeter is the same as the area. Okay, but you don't write them the same. Okay, I want to show you this. I slide my little pretzel house up here, okay? If I were writing the perimeter, this is a little bit of review, perimeter would equal 16, I'm going to call these inches. It was 4, 8, 12, 16 inches around my shape. Okay, that's how I just write it. It's just inches. Perimeter is P equals 16 inches. Okay, the area, which is going to be A, equals, watch this, squared. Okay, it's a little 2 up in the air. Look, it is not sitting on the same line as my I and N. It's up in the air. It's a little 2 and it's up in the air. And we read that area equals, whoops, I forgot to write my number, boys and girls. I got too excited about teaching you that. 16 inches squared. Okay? Or you could write it like this. Area equals 16 square SQ inches. Okay, you'll see it both ways in the book, or sometimes they'll write out the word square and they'll write out the word inches. Okay, these mean the same thing. You read them the same. Area equals 16 square inches, or sometimes they say inches squared. Same thing. All right. Perimeter does not have this. Perimeter is just the distance around. Okay. Area is square because it's how many cover it. Okay. This is 1 inch, but it's actually 1 inch by 1 inch. 1 times 1. Right. It's actually 16 square units. Okay. Not just the distance around. Okay. I know it's looks funny, kind of sounds funny, but everything we do today in 13.2 is going to be this. Okay. Inches squared or square inches. You have to remember to label it that way or it's wrong. Okay. It has to be labeled that way. All right. So I'm going to push aside my pretzels here so I have a snack for later, right? And we're going to start the lesson in the book. Okay. It says, the base B of a two-dimensional figure, just means a shape on the page, can be any side. The height, h, is the measure of a perpendicular line segment from the base to the top of the figure. Boys and girls, the base and the height are the exact same as when you and I did length and width. Okay? They just sometimes like to call them different things. Base times height is the formula, and it's the same thing as length and width. Okay? Don't let it throw you off. It's really the same thing. Okay? Usually the base is the bottom, whatever it's sitting on down at the bottom, and the height is the other side. Okay, the base is the bottom, the height's the other side. This one's tilted sideways, so that's why they're saying it could really be either side. Okay? Area is the number of square units needed to cover, clue word here, a flat surface. A square unit is a square that is 1 unit long, right? 1 unit long and 1 unit wide. Okay, it's a square unit. To find the area of a figure, count the number of square units inside the figure. Okay, so they want to show us down here. How are the base and the height of a rectangle related? Okay, I want to show you my purple rectangle I drew up here. Okay, just to show you the big picture of the lesson today. Area equals base times height. Okay, that's the big thing you need to know. I'm going to write A, that's area, equals base times height. Boys and girls, that's the same thing as you could call it length times width. But when they talk about area, they call it base and height. Okay, so if I were looking at my purple rectangle up here, base times height, my area is 4 times 2. Okay, 4 times 2. I like to write them in the middle because area is the area in the middle. 8 inches is my unit. See, it's inches. 8 inches squared. Ta-da, that's my area. Okay, for this shape right here, it's 4 times 2, 8 inches squared. Done. Area is actually almost easier than perimeter because you don't have to count around the outside edges. You don't have to add them all up. You just multiply them. It's one multiplication fact. Base times height. Okay? All right, so let's look at this figure they made. Okay, I could make this with my pretzels, but you guys can see it on the page just the same. You can make them at home with pretzels or Cheez-Its or something if you have them. Okay, here's my figure. The base is 5 units. How'd they figure that out? Look across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The base is 5. I'm going to write a little bitty 5 right here. Okay. What is the height? They want to know how high it is. Come up the side. It is 1, 2, 3. Okay. The height is 3 units. Okay. These aren't inches. They aren't yards. They're calling them units, meaning we don't know what they are. Okay. So the area is what? What's base times height? What's 5 times 3, boys and girls? Would be 15. Now we don't know what to call it, so we're just going to call it units squared. Okay, that little 2 just kind of goes up there in the air. It is not down on the line here. It's above those letters and it's small. It's smaller than my normal letters. Okay, let's look at this yellow figure down here. What is the base? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My base is 8 units. Okay, and my height. How many squares high is it? 1, 2. It is 2 units. Okay, so my area is base times height. 8 times 2 is 16 units squared. Okay, just base times height, that's all you need. And in perimeter, we had to figure out all 4 sides. You don't have to do that with area. You only need to know 2 sides, so that's the cool thing. Okay, the green one, my base is 3 units. Okay, my height, 1, 2, 3, is 3 units. It's like your building, right? 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, this one I'm going to write the other way, just so you see it both ways. 9 square units. Oops, I guess there's no period. It's not abbreviation, is it? 9 square units. What relationship do you see among the base, height, and the area? Okay, they're wanting us to try to figure out this formula up here that I already told you. Okay, the area equals base times height. Spell it right. Okay, area equals base times height. Write a formula for the area of a rectangle. Use the letter A for area, letter B for base, and letter H for height. We just did it, right? Area is capital A equals base times height, right? Area equals base times height. All right, flip to the next page, guys. You're doing great. Okay, you can use the formula to find the area, top of the page. Okay, area is the A, base is the B, H is the height. We just talked about that. Okay, you can use a formula to find the area of a rectangle and a square. Area equals base times height. So what's the base of this guy up here? The base is usually this bottom one right here, but look, this top is the same. Okay, so the base is 6 feet. The height is 2 feet. So what's 6 times 2? Equals 12. So the area is 12. What's my unit? Feet, period, because that's an abbreviation, squared. A little 2 up in the sky. Okay? The square here, my base right here, same as this, is 2. My height is 2. What's 2 times 2? 4. The area is 4. What's my unit? Meters squared. Okay, we always just multiply. Area is super easy because all you have to do is multiply. Okay, write a formula for the area of a square. No matter what, boys and girls, no matter what, you can always just use base times height. Base times height. Okay, they want you to see that since a square is all 4 sides the same, okay, that it's actually all of them the same. So let's see, let's just make it side and side. Okay, because only 2 of them matter. We're going to use capital A for area. We're going to use an S for the side. Okay, so if you want to make it different, even though I don't want you to make it different, you could say area equals side times side. Okay, it's the same thing. It's base times height, right? Okay, find the area of a rectangle. Whoops, too far, Mrs. May. Boy, do I miss you guys. Area equals base times height, right? 11 times 13. Okay, now my numbers are getting a little bigger, so I'm going to have to do a turtle head. Okay, why don't you pause me, do your turtle head, and come back and see if yours matches mine. 11 times 13. Okay, 11 times 13. You're going to get 2 rows of turtle head, right? You're going to get a row here, partial products, and you'll add them together. Okay, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Cross off carried numbers. I don't have any. Draw a collar. Lay an egg. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Add your partial products. The area is 143. Do I have a unit? Centimeters squared. Okay, you have to get that squared in there. Okay. All right, we're well on our way, guys. You guys are doing great. Okay, find the area of the square or rectangle. Okay, right here, they give you this formula. Base times height, no matter what, even if it's a square, base times height works, right? They're just going to be the same number. Okay, 7 times 2. What's 7 times 2, boys and girls? That would be 14. What's my unit? Inches, period, because it's an abbreviation, squared. Done. Cool, huh? Area is super easy. Okay, this is one's a square. My base and my height, they're the same, but that's okay. What's 9 times 9? Ooh, tricky one. What's 9 times 9, thinkers? 9 times 9 is 81. My unit is meters squared. Now tell me these aren't easy. If you know your multiplication facts, these are super easy. Okay, the next one is 14 and 8 feet. Ooh, I don't know how that in my head. Do a little turtle head. 14 times 8. Pause me and come back. Okay, pause me, come back. What's 8 times 4? 32. 2 stays, 3 goes up. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 more. 9, 10, 11. Okay, since I don't have a number outside the neck, I only have one row. 112, my unit is feet squared. Okay? All right, on your owns. Boys and girls, pause me. Do the on your owns on your own and come back if we see if we get the same answers, okay? Whoop, down, down, down. I'm getting there. All right. Number 5, find the area of the rectangular square. It's the same thing, base times height, base times height. Okay, this one is 13 times 5. Okay, again, I'm going to have to do a little turtle head. That's okay. 13 times 5. 5 times 3, I'm off the page, is 15. 5 stays, 1 goes up. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. I only get one row because I don't have any numbers outside the neck. So it's 65 feet squared. Okay, next one, base times height. What's 6 times 6? Is 36. What's my unit? Ooh, what's km? Kilometers squared. Aren't these super easy? Okay, 15 times 12. Oh, I spoke too soon, didn't I? But that's okay. Turtlehead's still easy. We know how to do it. 5 times 2 is 10. 0 stays, 1 goes up. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. Cross off carried numbers, draw a collar, lay an egg. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Add your partial products. Is 180 inches squared. Okay. It's basically telling you, boys and girls, like this one that's 6 times 6. Okay, that would be like me making 6 rows across this way with my pretzel squares and 6 rows across this way. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't get enough, did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be off the screen again. 6. And then filling that whole thing in. If I filled in all of that empty space right here, it would take me 36 pretzels to fill in that space, right? Okay, that's what it's telling you. Oops, I got a partial one. That's okay. So it would take me 36 because I have 6 on the top side, 6 down the side, and total I have 30. I would have 36. Now I don't have 36 pretzels, but that's what it's saying. It would take 36 pretzels to cover this shape. Okay. All right. 29 meters and 10 meters. Anything times 10 can be a basic fact. Okay, what's 29 times 1 is 29. And add a 0. right? 29 times 10 is 29 times 1 is 29. Add a 0 equals 290 meters squared, right? 13 times 13. Okay, that's a turtle head. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. Cross off carried numbers, draw a collar, lay an egg. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay? 169 yards squared. Okay, 20 times 2. Okay, again, this one has a basic fact. Look, 20 times 2. You got to watch for these, boys and girls. You got to know your math facts. 2 times 2 is 4. Add a 0. It is 40 centimeters squared. Okay, now they just list the base and height for you and they don't show you a shape like this. Okay, but that's okay. We don't really need it. It's just base times height, right? So 16 times 6. It's a small turtle head. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 stays, 3 goes up. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 more is 9. 96. What's my unit? Feet squared. Okay. Base is 9, height is 17. 17 times 9. Another small turtle head. 7 times 9 is 63. 3 stays, 6 goes up. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 6 more is 15. 153 yards squared. Okay. Number 13 is 14 times 11. That's a bigger turtle head. I'm going to go up and use some space at the top here. 14 times 11. Whoop. Okay. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Cross off carried numbers. Draw a collar. Lay an egg. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Add your partial products. Equals 154. Down on the line here. 154 centimeters squared. Okay? Hope you guys are understanding this. Okay, it's just base times height every single time. Okay, ooh, look at this pretty tulip garden. Boy, would I love that in my backyard. Nancy and Luke are drawing plans for a rectangular flower garden. In Nancy's plan, the garden is 18 feet by 12 feet. By is just another word for times, right? It's 18 feet this way and 12 feet that way, right? 18 by 12, 18 times 12, right? In Luke's plan, the garden is 15 feet by 15 feet. Who drew the garden with the greater or bigger area? Okay, so we have to figure out what 18 times 12 is and what 15 times 15 is and see which one gives us a bigger number. Okay, show the steps to solve your problem. Let's just use this space down here to show our work. I'm going to turn my document camera a little bit towards me. Oop. Sorry, boys and girls. Okay, 18 times 12 is the first one. 15 times 15 is going to be my next one. I figure them both out. Both of them are turtle head problems. Okay, pause me, do it yourself, and come back and see if we get the same answer. It's good practice for your brain. Okay, 8 times 2 is 16. 6 stays, 1 goes up. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. Cross off carried numbers, draw a collar, lay an egg. 8 times 1 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. Add your partial products. 216 is, let's see, that would be Nancy's. Okay, Nancy's equals 216. Okay, let's see what Luke's is. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 stays, 2 goes up. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. Cross off carried numbers, draw a collar, lay an egg. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 7 plus 5 is 12. 225. That's Luke's. So which one's bigger? Okay, Luke's is the bigger one, right? 225 is more than 216. The area of Nancy's garden is 216. What's the unit? Feet squared. The area of Luke's garden is 225. Is it feet still? Yep, should be. Feet squared. Blank's garden has the greater area. That would be Luke's garden has the greater area. Fill in the bubble for the correct answer choice above, okay? Is it Nancy or Luke that had the greater one? Luke. So I have to choose, here's a Luke and here's a Luke, but which one has the correct area? This one, right? Okay, number 15 and 16. I feel sad that we're almost done with the math lesson because I'm going to miss you guys after this. I like doing math with you guys. I really wish we could be in the classroom. Okay, I hope you're doing just as good at work at home to make me proud. Find the area of the rectangle. The length of the small square is 4 feet. Okay, one small square is 4. Okay, this is a hot problem because they're trying to show you something a little more in depth, a little more challenging. The length of a small square is 4 feet. So one of these is worth 4. Okay, so let's say 1, 2, 3 is down the side, but each of these is 4. It's 4, 4, and 4. So you would say the height would be 12, right? I'm going to put it right here. It's 12. Okay, and on this side it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But each of those is really worth 4. Each of those is a 4. So what's 8 times 4? Is 32. Okay, so now my base and height are 12 and 32. Okay, so what's 32 times 12? 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Cross off carried numbers, draw a collar, lay an egg. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. Add them up. 384 square feet. Okay. It only is because this little thing is out to the side of here. The length of one small square is 4 feet. Okay, it made each square worth 4. Oh, excuse me, they don't do that very often. They were just throwing you one that just to make sure you read everything that's in the problem, right? Sonia is buying carpet for the dining room. Oh, yep, carpet is a good example for area, okay? Which measures 15 feet by 12 feet. That just means times. How many square feet of carpet does Sonia need to cover the dining room? Okay, so we just need to figure out what 15 times 12 is. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3. Cross off carried numbers, draw a collar, lay an egg. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 180 square feet. Okay. Some clue words that you'll see for area, boys and girls. I just want to throw these somewhere up here at the top of the page. Okay, if it talks about laying carpet, that's an area word. Okay, these are area words. Sometimes it'll say laying sod. Okay, sod is like normal people like you and I, if we planted a yard, we'd lay out grass seed and we'd water it and it would grow and eventually we'd have a yard full of grass. Sod is like on a farm somewhere, they do what you and I do and they lay out the seed and they grow the grass and then they take this chopper machine and they go and they scrape up all the grass into like carpet rolls. Okay, if you watch HGTV, you'll see them lay down sod. It's like they take a roll of grass and just roll it out in the yard, and then you instantly have grass in your yard. Okay, that's sod. It's like laying carpet in your yard, except for it's really grass. So if you're laying carpet, it's an area problem. If they're laying sod, sometimes they'll say they're putting down a tile floor. Okay, anything where they are covering a surface is talking about area. Okay, all right, boys and girls, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you do a good job on your math homework and send me a picture.